also we have got some Pilates for you. It's floor-based, all right, but we do like a little bit of a mobilizer to get the body ready to work. We do that standing up, get in the standing position, find our core muscles, keep our neutral spine. So they're things that I would just run through at the beginning. Then once we're down on the floor, we stay down on the floor until we're done, okay? There's going to be different levels. Level 1, option 1 is going to be your beginner, your first time, that sort of level. And then the progressions will be given. So if you want to go a bit further, you absolutely can. All right. The important thing is though that you listen to the body. And if your body's saying no to something, don't push it into a yes. Yeah. You've got to work where your body feels comfortable. You've got to challenge yourself a little bit, but it shouldn't be painful, it shouldn't be uncomfortable, okay? So, I will get you in that standing position first, just finding my Pilates app on my watch, and then we'll get going. Alright, so standing nice and upright, nice and tall to begin with, toes and knees point forward, shoulders should be down and relaxed. So we're finding that position where we've got an even distribution of weight across both of the feet, so we gently go forwards, backwards, side to side, finding that even distribution of body weight, centralise the posture. Find the neutral spine, so you're just tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. Hi Maria, ça va? Oui, ça va. Good. Tilting the pelvis forwards, backwards, finding the position where your back feels comfortable, that natural, neutral spine. Finding and engaging of the core muscles, the pelvic floor. So that's the muscle that you would use within if you were going to stop mid-flow, let's say, okay? So imagine that muscle is attached to a lift, 10 floors to the lift. I want you to draw it all the way up from within to floor number 10. So it can feel quite uncomfortable. You wouldn't be able to maintain it for long. So we're going to take it down to floor number 5 and then down to floor number 3. Which we're going to try and maintain from this point on. So you can feel a little bit of a drawing up, but it's maintainable. Imagine you've got a belt around your middle, 10 notches to the belt. Pull it into notch number 10 as tight as you can. Take it out to notch 5, out to notch 3, and leave it there. So again, we've gone from having too much to having something that's achievable, that level 3, that notch 3, around about 30% engagement. Now, because you're holding from the core and you've got your neutral spine in place, your breathing will then need to come from your rib cage. So hands on the ribs, fingertips touch. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Open the hands, open the ribs, and release. Nice deep breath in. And release. Relax the arms down. So maintaining neutral spine, maintaining core muscles, begin to pedal through your feet, one side to the other. Gently raising up your alternating heel and allow those shoulders to gently rotate one way and the other way. Lovely. Place the feet down, lift all the way up onto the toes, lengthen the body and release. And again, lift up, lengthen and release. One more time, lift up, lengthen through the body and release. We're going to take a big lunge forward on the left leg, lengthening the back leg, bringing the body forwards and down, and then coming up to the middle and change legs. Flattening that front foot, lengthening that back leg. Core muscles are in place. You're not flopping over, you're keeping neutral spine in place, even as you bring that body weight forwards. One more on each leg, please. Good. Last one here. And then stepping out to the left side. Lengthen the inner thigh. Arm reaches up and over. Hips face forwards. Step and reach. So lateral flexion. Lengthening up through the waist, through the back. Last one on this side here. And then we're going to hold it. Allow those hips to rotate one way and the other. Good. Holding it in the center. Just allow the arms, one to come forwards, one to go backwards. So a little bit of mobility through the shoulder. Then I want you just to start, very small movement, looking over the shoulder. Keeping everything else still, hips are still. Then I want you to make that movement bigger and try and follow the hand as it comes behind. So you've got that little bit of movement through the waist, keeping the hips still. Spinal rotation. One more to each side, please. And then hold it in the middle. Relax the arms. Find your balance and take 1 foot forward, point the toe. Circle round, lift the knee up. Toe comes forward, circle round, lift the knee up. One more time, toe forward. If you need to hold on to anything, that's absolutely fine. Hold it here. Ankle is going to rotate one way, and then the other, and then we're going to place that foot down. Other foot comes forward, point the toe, circle round. Is your balance as good on this side as it is the other? Mine isn't, it's terrible. Toe forward, circle round, lift the knee and balance. Toe forward, circle round, lift and balance. One more here, holding it up in the centre when you get there. Ankle rotates one way, she says as she falls over, and the other. And then place that foot down. So you're going to stand towards the back of your mat, okay? We're going to breathe in, we're going to tuck the chin, sorry my trousers are falling down. Tuck the chin into the chest, and then breathe out, begin to gently roll down through the back. Soften the knees, allow the arms to hang and relax, and then when you're ready, breathe in, and as you breathe out, begin to gently roll back up, rebuild the spine, relax the shoulders, head and neck comes up last. So you're coming all the way back up into that nice lengthened neutral spine position. Breathe in, chin to the chest, breathe out, begin to roll down through the back. Soften your knees, allow your arms to hang and relax, and then when you're ready, we're beginning the process, rolling back up, rebuilding the spine. As you reach the top, relax the shoulders down. So we're going to roll down and we're going to come down onto the floor, onto our hands and knees. Breathe in, chin to the chest, breathe out, gently roll down. As you get to your lowest point, you can walk your hands forward and gently place the knees down. So we're in a box position, we've got a gap between our thighs, okay, so the knees are under the hips, wrists, elbows underneath the shoulder, your back is in that nice flat neutral spine position. I don't want you to dip or arch that spine, okay? Breathe in, as you breathe out, push one leg all the way back, and then breathe in and draw that leg back in. Other leg, you're going to breathe out, push the leg back, breathe in, draw the leg back in. Now, as you move the leg away, that's a point of balance that's being moved, okay? So I don't want you to compensate it by leaning to the side. You've got to try and keep that body weight central. And then if you can achieve that, then you can lift the leg once it's straight, touch the toe down, and then draw the leg back under. So if you feel like you're wobbling from side to side, don't lift the leg. If you're okay with it, you can raise that leg. Make sure the body weight stays central. One more option here, breathe out, lengthen and lift. Breathe in, bend. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in to lower and draw it back in. So we're adding on an optional leg curl, which is going to target into the back of the thigh and the bottom, so hamstrings and glutes. We are still working through the core. You could slide the opposite hand out at the same time as the leg. You've got to make sure, please, that your toes touch the floor first, and then the leg comes back in. Another option here, if you really want it, is to bring the opposite arm up, fingers and toes touch down, and come back in. So you've either added the arm or you haven't. You can lift it or keep it down. Your movement should be controlled, and it should be slow. your movement is controlled by the depth and pace of your breathing. So if you're moving fast, you're breathing too quickly, okay? Breathe out as the leg moves away and lifts. Breathe into bend, out to lengthen, into lower, draw it back in. Let's do one more on each side, please. Engage those core muscles. If you're lifting the leg, try and get it level with the body. Once you've completed those two, you're going to come down onto forearms and elbows. Take those legs further away, bring the bottom down. So you're in a level 1 leg pull position. You've drawn the pelvis up off the floor, but you've kept your knees down. So from here, we're going to add in our hip drop. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, lower the hip to one side. Breathe in, come to the middle. Breathe out, lower the hip to the other side. Breathe in, come to the middle. So you're always coming back to that starting central point. If you want to go further, you can bring the knees up off the floor and work from there. Try and make sure you keep your head looking down. So you've got that alignment coming down the body, and then you're just allowing the hips to lower, come back in, and then lower the other way, come back in. If the hip drop is uncomfortable in your lower back for any reason, then just hold the leg pull position instead. So in your hip drop, where we're working the waist now, as well as the core and the lumbar spine, I'm going to ask you for one more to each side. And once you've completed those two, gently lower all the way down onto your front. And you're going to be bringing your arms down by your side. Now, you're going to be peeling the chest up off the floor, but at the same time, the arms are going to come up. They're not just lifting straight up, so your palms should be facing the ceiling. And as you come up, you're lifting, but you're also rotating. So as you get to the top, your palms are face down, okay? So laying on your front, draw your belly button up, touch your big toes together, drop the heels out. Try not to squeeze and tighten the glutes, the bottom, and try not to lift your legs, okay? Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift up, squeeze the shoulders back and together. As you breathe in, lower down. So this is your rear deltoid squeeze. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. Now as you come up, make sure you're not allowing your belly button to push down. Keep looking down at the floor. I don't want you moving your neck. So you're always looking down. So you've got the alignment, your neck is in line with the rest of the spine. Remember, we're not moving those legs, and as we come up, we're rotating palms down. Good. Squeezing the shoulder blades back and together, only lifting as far as comfortable for you. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more repetitions, get my words out, 2 more repetitions of a rear deltoid squeeze. Once you've completed those 2, you can relax those arms, bring them back through, relax those legs. Coming up into leg pull, which we're just going to hold, okay? So there's going to be 4 options here. Level 1, knees down. Look down between your wrists, breathe and hold. Good. Level 2, knees come off the floor, belly button drawn up, breathe and hold. Now, if your body starts to shake, it's a sign of muscle fatigue, so have a rest, yeah? If you want level 3, you're going to be coming all the way up onto those hands, so make sure your wrists are comfortable, shoulders are strong enough. Level 4, breathe out, lift one leg, breathe in lower. But I don't want that bottom coming up. The body remains still. Breathe out, lift, breathe out, lower, yes? Or knees down, level 1, knees up, level 2. It's okay to stay in a lower level, because I quite easily could hold mine up on my hands, but I choose not to. Because for me, being in a level 1 or 2 here, my whole focus is on my core muscles. I'm not worried that my shoulders are going to give way. I'm not worried that my back's going to dip or arch. I'm literally focusing on drawing up and in through the core. Knees can come up, remember, level 2. And I'm going to ask you, please, for 2 more breaths here. Then you can carefully lower down. And I'd like you to come down onto your side, lengthening the body out in a nice long line. Now your head rests down on the arm, palm of the hand faces up, just simply so you're not pulling at the floor. Hips, knees, ankles all stacked, one on top of the other. And this hand here is in front for balance and support, okay? Breathe in as you breathe out. Both legs lift up. Hand is there, remember? You might feel you can take it away. Now, waist, the obliques are working here. As soon as you lifted those legs up, the obliques began to work. Core, lumbar, spine are working to keep that nice long posture. Now, breathe in. As you breathe out, kick your top leg forwards, then breathe in to return. Breathe out, kick the top leg forwards, breathe in to return. Your bottom leg is lifted but still. The range of movement is entirely up to you. If you're moving that leg and your hips are rolling, you need to make that movement smaller. Now I want you to breathe out, kick the leg backwards, breathe in to return. Backwards, breathe out, it moves back, breathe in, it comes in. Toes are pulled away, both legs are straight. Then I want 1 forward, 1 backwards. Breathe in, breathe out as you kick, bottom leg is lifted and still, breathe out and kick, breathe in and return. So we're allowing that top leg to move. We make it harder by taking the supporting hand away because we don't want to roll. We could even maybe bring that leg over. Now with this side kick, normally at this point I'd say move your bottom leg as well, but I'm not going to say it. Well, I just did, but I don't want you to do it. I want you to keep it still. I want you to focus on keeping that bottom leg still, which is actually harder than it sounds when your top leg is moving and everything else is in place. I'm going to ask you, please, for 2 more, 2 forwards, 2 backwards, so 4 breaths, yeah? When you've done those, you're going to keep those legs lifted, held and still. Do you need that hand there? Now the height your legs are at now, okay, you're coming back here each time. You're going to breathe in and lower the legs 1 inch from the floor. Then you're going to breathe out and lift them back up. Breathe in and lower 1 inch from the floor. Breathe out, lift them back up. Those legs remain in line with your body. As they lift and lower, you're working right into that waist. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you release. Good. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and in place. Hand is there for balance. If you don't need it, take it away. I am going to give you 1 more option here, and that is to add a shoulder slide, okay? We keep the head stuck to the arm, and as the leg comes up, you're just raising the underarm off the floor. Breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. Now you don't have to add that shoulder slide. It is there if you want to give it a go. Make sure you're not moving the head on its own. You're sliding up, so you've got that space underneath the arm, but you're not moving your neck. And I'm going to ask you, please, in your side raise, for 2 more breaths. Once you've completed those 2, you can allow those legs to lower all the way down. If you need to give that hip a rub or anything, please do so. And then when you're ready, you're going to push yourself to sit. So we're going to come into our oblique roll up first, and I'm going to add on to that a little movement through the arms and the chest. So legs are bent. You can do this with your legs out straight if you prefer. Sometimes if you've got tight hamstrings or an uncomfortable lower spine, you can have your legs out straight, okay? Just see where you prefer. Arms out in front. You're going to breathe in, tilt the pelvis under, so you're creating that C-shaped spine. Bringing the arm back, follow the arm, breathe in, come to the middle, and lift back up. Breathe in, tilt, breathe out, open. Breathe in, bring the arm in, breathe out, lift up. Breathe in, breathe out to open, rotate, breathe in, come back to the middle, breathe out, lift up. Now all the time you're working here, both sides of the bottom are staying on the floor. Those legs remain nice and still. If it's too much with the arms, get rid of the arms. If you only want to tilt a little way, absolutely fine. It's your range of movement. Option here, remember, is to have your legs out straight. See which you prefer. Breathe in to tilt, breathe out to open. Breathe into the middle, breathe out to come back up. Mobilising through the lower back, strengthening and working through the obliques and the core, and we're opening up around the shoulders and the chest. I'm going to ask you in your oblique roll up for one more to each side, please. Once you've completed both of those, you're going to stay in that seated position. Okay, so I would like you to breathe in and tilt the pelvis under, and then bring the legs up, big toes touch. Okay, from here, breathe in. As you breathe out, kick one leg out, breathe in and return. Breathe out, kick the other leg out, breathe in and return. Your hands are wherever they feel comfortable. If you need to, you could use your hands for a little bit of support, but don't push back too far. Now, one leg at a time. This is open leg rocker. If you want the next level, both legs go out together. Tailbone is tucked under. The back, the rest of the back is straight. What I don't want you to do is like crunch yourself all the way like that. So your back is still lengthened. All you've done is tuck the tailbone under. And then your last option is to actually add the rocker part. So you breathe in, tilt, roll, kick, breathe out, come back up. And we're trying to keep those toes off the floor. If you needed to, you could always keep your toes down and work from there. Okay? So open leg rocker, with or without the rock, one leg at a time or both legs together. I'm going to ask you please for two more, or one with each leg. And when you've completed those, feet can come back down. You're going to carefully allow yourself to lower down onto your back. Now when you come down onto your back, you just need to find that neutral spine again. Okay? So you can tilt the pelvis up and down a couple of times. Find the position where your back is the most comfortable, where your hips are parallel. Feet and knees are hips distance apart, arms are relaxed down by your side. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lift your right leg up into a right angle. Don't drop the heel, but also don't lift the leg to the ceiling. You've got to keep the right angle, so the shin, the front of the lower leg, is facing the ceiling. Hold and breathe. So here, in this position, is a level 1 of the 100, okay? Deep, full breaths. If you want to go further, you could bring the other leg up, make sure you've got neutral, breathe and hold. If you want to go further, you can bring up the upper body, chin off the chest, breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that breath has got to be deep enough to get those 5 little pushes down. you've just got your right leg raised, I'm going to ask you to lower the right leg. Breathe in, breathe out, lift the left leg up. Reminding you that one leg lifted, shoulders down, level 1. Both legs up, level 2. Adding in the pulse, level 3. Now, there's an in-between level, which is where we just had that one leg lifted, but we add the pulse here as well. So that is another option if you want it. And if you want to go a little bit further, lengthen the legs out 45 degrees. 45 degrees, not 90. They're not going to the ceiling, they're going diagonally away. Someone's cooking toast, that's all I can smell. Oh, as long as it doesn't get burnt, because I hate the smell of burnt toast. Breathe and hold. I'm going to ask you in your 100 at your level for 2 more breaths. If you took the legs out, you're going to bring them back to bend. You're going to allow the head, the shoulders, the arms to lower. And if you've got both legs lifted, 1 foot at a time comes down. We're coming back onto our right leg, please. Breathe in as you breathe out. Right leg comes back up, right ankle. Good. So keeping it bent, breathe in. As you breathe out, touch the foot down. As you breathe in, lift that leg back up. Breathe out to lower, just dip the toe. Breathe in to lift. Now this movement, the scissor, is coming from my hip flexor. It's coming from the top of my leg. I am not moving my knee. Okay? If you want to go further, have both legs lifted. Breathe out lower. Breathe in, return. And you can alternate the leg. Only if you've got both legs lifted do you alternate. Otherwise, keep going on that right leg. You're going to do 4 more with just that right leg, and then you're going to swap over. Okay? Now, if you've got both legs lifted, another option for you, as the leg lifts, the other leg is already beginning to lower. So they're kind of swapping in the middle. Breathe out to lower, breathe in to lift. And one final option, bring up those shoulders, only if you've got both legs lifted. Remember, we're not moving the knee, we are moving from the top of our leg. Yeah? Breathe out to lower, breathe in to lift. Shin stays facing the ceiling at all times. Breathe out to lower, breathe in to lift. And I'm going to ask you, please, at your level, for 3 more breaths. If you've got your upper body lifted, you'll need to lower it down. If you've got both legs lifted, 1 foot at a time down. Good. Once you've got both feet on the floor, you're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to bring your arms up. Now I want your palms facing inwards and your fingers pointing to the ceiling. They are chest distance apart, these hands, okay? They're not together. They are straightened and lengthened above your shoulder. So one arm is going to come over, the other arm is coming down by your side. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lower down. As you breathe in, come back to the center. Breathe out, lower down. As you breathe in, come back to the middle. So we're mobilizing around the shoulder. If you wanted to go a bit further, you could bring that right leg back up into right angle. We're just keeping the legs still. Next option would be to have both legs lifted. Don't let the tummy pop up, okay? It's called doming. Don't let it dome. Keep it drawn in. So you've got one leg or both legs lifted, or no legs raised, and we're allowing these arms to gently move side to side. Now if you have only got one leg lifted, swap that leg over for me, please. Breathe out to lower, breathe in. They're always coming back to their start position. And I'm going to ask you, please, for 2 more breaths. Arms will float back down. 1 foot at a time will come back down. And then you could, if you'd like to, give yourself a nice long body stretch. That was your windmill, mobilizing around the shoulders, strengthening the core and the lumbar spine. Good. When you are ready, you're turning over onto the other side, lengthening your body out into a nice long line, head resting down on the arm, looking straight ahead. Don't look down at your feet, okay? Look straight forward. Hand is there for balance. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, raise both legs without rolling forwards or backwards. Now remember, with this, we're keeping our bottom leg still. So just to kick forward, breathe in. As you breathe out, kick forward. As you breathe in, return. As you breathe out, kick forwards. As you breathe in, return. So we're only allowing it to go as far as comfortable. We're going backwards this time. Breathe out, it goes back. Breathe in, it comes in. Breathe out, it goes back. Breathe in, it comes in. Do you need the hand there for support? Could you maybe take it away? You're going to go forwards and then middle and then back. Always bringing that leg back to where you started. Keep those toes being pulled away. Now you might find one side is stronger than the other. That is absolutely normal, okay? Doing this is going to help balance that out. Bottom leg is lifted and still. That is your challenge, to keep that bottom leg still. If the backward movement aggravates your lower back, just keep the forward movement and vice versa, okay? Breathe out to kick, breathe in to return. So with your side kick, working down that leg into the obliques, the core of the lumbar spine, please complete 2 more breaths. Just one forward, one backwards. Once you've completed those, legs lifted, held and still. Hand is there should you need it. Breathe in, they lower an inch from the floor. Breathe out, they come back up. Breathe in, they lower an inch from the floor. Breathe out, they come back up. Hand is there for balance. Do you need it? Could you take it away? Could you add your shoulder slide? Remember, your head stays stuck to the arm. Whoop. Listen to your body though. If your hips are rolling forwards or back, you need to, 1, make the movement smaller, 2, take away whatever it is you just added. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release. Working straight in to those obliques. And I'm going to ask you please, for 2 more. Once you've completed those 2, you can rest those legs down. By all means, give that hip a little bit of a rub if you need to. So we are going to make our way round onto our all fours. So as we started, back nice and flat, nice and neutral, head and neck in line with the spine. We're going to take a cat stretch just to stretch the back out. Breathe in, chin to the chest, round the spine. Breathe out and gently release. Breathe in, chin to the chest, round the spine. Breathe out and release. Good. 1 more cat stretch for me, please. When you're ready, bring your hands towards your knees. Curl the toes under, coming into crouch position. Tuck the chin into the chest. When you're ready, place the feet down. If you need to hold on to anything, please do. You're going to place your feet down and you're going to carefully, slowly begin rolling back up through the spine, rebuilding that back vertebrae by vertebrae all the way to the top. And as you get to the top, relax those shoulders down. We need to be in that nice long position that we were right at the beginning, making sure the weight is across both sides of the feet equally. Shoulders are down and relaxed while our back is lengthened and neutral, comfortable. Core muscles, try and keep those in place as much of the day as you can. So carefully lifting up onto the toes to balance and release. Lift up onto the toes, balance and release. One more time, lift up, balance and hold, and then just see, maybe close your eyes. Is your balance as good as you hoped? And release. Well done. So that is your Pilates for today, guys. Where's my book? Over there somewhere. I think we've got Pilates again tomorrow morning. Let me just grab my notebook. I've got myself well spread out in the lounge today because I've got a training session as well. Yes, tomorrow morning at 10 is your second Pilates for the week. Thank you for joining me for that one. Please enjoy the rest of your day. We are back at 4 o'clock with some legs, bumps and tons if you fancy that one. So have a lovely day. Thank you, Maria. I hope you've enjoyed the session today. See you all again soon.